Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Mehmood Sheikh and today I am going to start a new tutorial series on developing a CRUD application using Yii framework. Okay, Yii is one of the PHP's MVC framework which is based on model view controller architecture, and Yii stands for yes it is. Okay, and the version we are going to discuss in this tutorial series is 2. Okay, the second version of Yii. Okay, so we will try to learn the basic concepts of Yii framework by developing a CRUD application. Okay, I have done many tutorials on many frameworks of PHP like MVC, Codeigniter, Cake PHP, Laravel, Symfony, and this one. Now I'm going to start a tutorial series on Yii as well. Okay, so in this with this tutorial series you will be going to learn some of the basic concepts of Yii. So you will learn how to interact with our database, how to perform basic operations like reading the entire data from the database and displaying a single record, adding a record into the database, updating and deleting the record. Okay, so with this CRUD application we are going to build in this complete video tutorial series, with the help of which we will be going to learn some of the basic concepts of Yii. Okay, so now this is the application that we are going to create in this complete tutorial series. Okay, so I have already created this application, and in this tutorial series we will going to learn how to download Yii framework, how to install it in our local host, and then how to configure, how to connect it with our database PHP MySQL. So MySQL admin, and then we will do some basic concepts like creating, reading, updating and deleting records, which is CRUD. Okay, so the application I have already created, and now let us take a look of our application, CRUD application. Okay, so you can see this is our home page. Okay, so here at the top you will see the title Yii2 CRUD application tutorial, and here in a table I have displayed all the table records, all the records that has been fetched from the database. Okay, so now if I want to create a new record, then I have to click on this create. Then I'll be redirected to some other form where I'll be entering the title like Cake PHP, and then I will write some description. Okay, I'll take the description from here. Okay, and then I'll put it here, and you can see if I try to submit the form without entering or selecting any information in any of the text box or text area, then it will throw me an error. Okay, so I have worked with the validation as well. Okay, so let's select category as MVC, and now I will click on create post. So you can see I have got a message as post published successfully, and at the same time you can see this post is start displaying in our table inside home page. Okay, so if you want to see the same record in our database, then let's go to our database, and if I refresh our post, okay, so now you can see this Cake PHP was present in the database also. Okay, in the database as well. Okay, so let me just delete this. Okay, now you can see the Cake PHP record is deleted from the database. Now I'm not having that record in my database table, and now I will refresh this. Okay, again I will go to my create form, and now I will be trying to submit the form without entering any information in any of the text boxes. So let's see what it will show. See, it's returning the errors. Okay, so let's type Cake PHP and then description. I'll select the category. Okay, now I will again click on create post, and then you can see the post which I have created just now. It start displaying on our table and also saved inside our database table. Okay, see, this is how we can create a post. And now if I want to view that post, then I have to click on this particular button, view, then you can see, I can clearly see that particular post. Okay, then if I click on this go back link, then I'll be redirected to my home page. And if I want to update this post, let's see. Okay, so the application, let's delete some of the text. Okay, and then let's change it to CMS. Okay, just for the sake of example. And now if I click on update, then you will see our description gets updated with the new description. And this one is previously MVC, and now I have changed, or I have updated it to CMS. Okay, now our update functionality is also working fine. And now if I want to delete any of the posts, then I just have to click on this delete button. Okay, so you can see the post that I have added just few seconds back, that post gets deleted successfully. And if I go to table, and now you can see there is a record with a name called as cake PHP. And now if I want to if I refresh, that post will get deleted. Okay, so this is the complete demo of our application that we are going to create in this complete tutorial series. Okay, so now let us see how we can download our Yii2 framework. Okay, so for downloading Yii framework, you need to go to Google, and then you need to type in Yii to download, and the very first link in the Google search, you will get the link for downloading. Okay, so just click on that link, and then you will be redirected to some the other page, which is this. Okay, so now scroll down, and then you will find a place where it has been written that install from an archive file. Okay, so just click on the first link. Okay, so Yii2 with advanced application template. Okay, so in this package you will get some advanced functionality of Yii2. Okay, so we will discuss about this advanced concepts or advanced application template in later tutorials. Okay, so just now, since we are since this is a first basic tutorial series, so we will be stick with the basic application template. Okay, so if you click on this link, then the Yii2 basic application template will get downloaded. Okay, so which I have already downloaded, and I have kept it this on my desktop. Okay, see, this is the package or the file you will get. Okay, so you just have to extract it. Okay, and then just right click on it, and then click on this extract here, and then you will get this folder. Okay, so once you get this folder, then just copy this. So I will just copy, and then I will go to my C drive. Okay, now I'm on my computer section, and I will go to C drive, and inside C drive I will go to XAMPP, and then inside XAMPP I will go to htdocs, and here I'm going to paste my folder. Okay, I'll just paste it. Okay, it will take some time because the size of the file is 61.1 MB. Okay, now you can see our project is been moved to our local host, which is htdocs, and now let's rename this folder to CRUD. Okay, so now we have moved our folder, and we have renamed our project folder. So now let's go to our browser, and then open it inside our browser. Okay, now I'm on my browser, and then let's come here, and then let's change it to CRUD. Okay, type the 127.0.0.1, which is localhost, and then the name of our project, which we have created just few seconds back, and then you have to refer to your folder with web. Okay, and then hit enter. Okay, now it's giving you an error saying that cookie validation key must be configured with a secret. Okay, so we have to fix this issue. Okay, so for that we need to go to our editor, and then let's open our project. Just click on file, and then click on open folder, and then go to htdocs. Okay, and then come at the bottom, and then this is the project which we have created just few seconds back. Now I will select that project. Okay, and now I will close this. Okay, now you need to go to inside config, go to web.php file, and here you can see the file, a section called as cookie validation key. There you need to put some random key. Okay, now just save it, and now refresh the page, and now you can see we have got the home page of our Yii application. Okay, so that error has gone and we have successfully installed our Yii project in our local server. Okay, so it has some basic templates like home, about, okay, and then contact, okay, and then login functionalities. Okay, so but in this tutorial series we will be writing the code by ourselves, and then we will be developing a CRUD functionality. Okay, so now okay, so this is everything about an introduction of our Yii CRUD application, and downloading Yii framework and then installing it in our local host or local server. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you got some useful information out of this video. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, click on like button and share it with your friends. And in my next video I will see you guys in my next video, where I'll be explaining where I'll be discussing with you how to change our home page layout, okay, to display exactly the way what I had shown you at the very beginning of this tutorial, which was our CRUD application. Okay, so which is, okay, so let's 127. Okay, yes, this one. So we need to change our home page or our index page or the layout of our home page to something like this, okay, which we will be going to do in our next video. And don't go anywhere, guys. I will see you guys in my next video, and thanks for watching. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Sheikh, and from past one video I am working on developing a CRUD application using Yii framework. In our last video I discussed how to download Yii framework and how to install it in our local server. And in this video we are going to learn how we can convert our home page, which has come as a default with our Yii installation, to something like this. Okay, so this is our home page, exactly the same looking application or CRUD application we are going to create in this video. And in our last video we completed installing Yii framework in our local host. Okay, and this is the home page of our installed Yii framework. Okay, so now we need to change this to this. Okay, so let's go to our editor, and this whatever page you are looking here is coming from index view. Okay, index.php. so that index.php file will be present inside our views. Okay, so first let's see, we'll be having one of the important folder which is called as controllers, where we'll be having the a major code for running our application. Okay, so this site controller comes as a default with the installation of Yii framework. Okay, and then we are having a model folder where we will be creating our models for interacting with our database, and we are having another folder which is called as views, where we'll be having different view templates that we'll be creating for making our web pages. Okay, so now you can see there is a file called as index.php. okay, so default at this time this index.php is loading. Okay, so now we need to change this index.php to home.php. okay, so for that what I will do is I will right click on this site folder, and then I will click on new file, and then I will save it as, I will press Ctrl S, and then I will give it a name as home.php. okay, and then I will just type h1 welcome to Yii framework. Okay, so now what we need to do is inside site controller this index.php file was loaded. Okay, so we need to change that index.php php to home.php. Okay, so we need to go to somewhere here, action index. Here you can see there is an index view template is rendered, so we need to change it to home. Okay, so by doing this we are changing the default page of our Yii application. Okay, so now if I refresh my page, then you can see I am getting a message, welcome to Yii framework. Okay, so which I have written here inside my home.php. Okay, so now I will open this index and I will just copy this entire code and then I will put it here. Okay, and then I will just remove all this HTML tags. Okay, now save it, and now let's refresh our page. Okay, now it's displaying congratulations, you successfully created. Okay, so now let's change it to this text, Yii2 CRUD application tutorial. We change it to Yii2 CRUD application tutorial. Okay, here as well I'll just copy this and I'll just change my title to Yii2 CRUD application. Okay, so now I'll just remove this p tags and I'll save it, and then now I'll refresh. You can see it's displaying Yii2 CRUD application tutorial. Okay, so and what I will do is I will just take the color of this text, inspect. Okay, now what is the color? Okay, so I will just take this, I'll just copy this and I will come to my editor and I will just put an inline styling. Okay, save it. Okay, now refresh. Okay, so now our title and the name of our application is done, and now what we need to do is we need to create a table. Okay, so we need to create a table where we can display all the posts that are present inside our database. Okay, so for creating a table we need to go to our bootstrap.com. okay, so first go to bootstrap.com and then select any of the theme. Okay, so I have selected this Cosmo theme, and you need to click on this preview. The moment when you click on this preview button, you will be landed up here, and here you will get the HTML markup for different sections of your page, of your homepage page. Okay, of your HTML page. So if you want to create a navbar, you just have to come to here, this navbar section, and then click on this link, so little link, and then copy this entire code. Okay, and then go to your home.php and then just paste it out. Okay, now let's refresh. Okay, okay, so this is how your navigation bar will look like, but we don't want navigation. Okay, we need a table. So for that, okay, so let's come a little bit down. Okay, so if you come a little bit down, you will get a table. Okay, so just click on this small link and then copy the entire code that they have, whichever they have given for the table, then just copy this and then okay, and then replace it. Okay, so let's give some indent. Okay, now save it. Okay, now let's come to our application and now let's refresh. You can see a table is start displaying here on our home page. Okay, now we need to change the headings. Okay, so for that let's change it to ID and then title, description, and then category. Okay, and we need one more for action. Okay, now let's refresh. Okay, so let's delete all these extra rows. Okay, and let's just leave only one row. Okay, and then okay, save it, refresh. Okay, we need one more TD. Okay, and here inside this TD we need to display our buttons for displaying our different types of buttons, like view button, update button, and delete button. Okay, so let's create those buttons now. Okay, span. Okay, and then we will create an HTML link. HTML. Okay, okay, now let's give the title view. Okay, and then create an array view, and then ID. Okay, so okay, let's give a class first, and then let's display the ID. Okay, class is btn. Okay, label of primary. Okay, now let's save it. Okay, and refresh. Okay, it's displaying us class HTML not found. Okay, so we need to include that class helper in our HTML. Okay, so let's come at the top, and here use Yii helpers, and then HTML. Now save it. Now let's refresh. Okay, undefined offset 0. Okay, use Yii helpers and HTML. Okay, now let's see this thing once again. Okay, HTML. Okay, and then A. Okay, this one is the label. Okay, and then class. Okay, okay, now here I have created a view button, and now I will just copy this to change update, and then delete. Okay, now save it, and now let's refresh. Okay, now it's displaying me view, update, delete buttons. Okay, or links. Okay, so whenever I'll be clicking on view, the particular post will get open. Whenever I'll be clicking on update, that post, another form will get updated, will get open to update the post, and whenever I click on this delete link, the post will get deleted. Okay, so now I need to create another button here on the top of the table to create a post. Okay, so for that I have to create some different files, so that whenever user click on the create button link here, the user should get redirected to some other form, okay, like the way I have done here. Okay, so exactly the same thing I have to do in our project. Okay, so that I will be doing in my next video, where I will display a link here on the top of the table, and I will connect this application to the database. I will create a database, and then I will create a table in that database, and then I will connect that database to my application, and I will try to fetch some records from the database table and try to display those records here on this home page of our CRUD application. Okay, so don't go anywhere, guys. I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, click on like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video, where I'll be discussing on connecting to the database and fetching the records from the database. Okay, thanks for watching. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, friends and subscribers. This is Mehmood Sheikh, and from past few videos I'm working on a tutorial series of developing a CRUD application using Yii2 framework. Okay, in this video we will discuss how to create a database and then table, and then how to link that database to our Yii application, and at the same time we will put some records manually inside the table, and then try to fetch those records and display those records on our home page here on the table of our home page. Okay, so we'll be going to do a lot of things in this video, so don't go anywhere, guys. Watch this complete video. Okay, so now let's go to PHP admin, and here we need to create a database. Okay, and then we need to give the name for our database, like CRUD. Okay, and now let's click on create. Okay, now we have created the database, and then let's create a table, posts. Okay, and then we need columns, like for one is for ID and the title, description, category. Okay, yeah, that's all. 4 fields we want in our table. Okay, so let's click on go. Okay, and then ID, title, description, and then category. Okay, so this category will be of type varchar, description is varchar as well, and then title is varchar. Okay, and then ID will be integer. Okay, so let's 100. Okay, now let's make it as auto incremented and set it as a primary key. Okay, and now let's click on save. Okay, now we have created our table, and now let's insert some records in this table posts. Okay, so click on this insert option, and here I am having some records already written on my notepad. Okay, so I will go there, and then title, and then copy, and then I will paste it here. Okay, and then here category will be CMS, and then I'll copy this, put it here, Magento, and this one is e-commerce. Okay, now let's save both these records. Okay, and let's click on browse. Okay, you can see we have 2 records inserted inside our table. Okay, we have manually inserted these records in our table. Okay, so that we can fetch these 2 records and we display those 2 records in our table. Okay, so before writing the code for fetching these records from the database, first we need to configure our database. First we need to connect our database with our Yii application. Okay, so for that we need to go to our editor. Okay, and then we need to, this is our project which we were working from the last 2 videos. Okay, and then here inside config folder you will find a file called as db.php. okay, so here you need to change the database name to the name which you have given to your database. Okay, so I have given a name as CRUD, to my database. Okay, so let me show you here. See, CRUD is the name of my database. So the same thing you need to mention here inside this db.php, where you see the name as db name. Okay, and username is root, and then password is I haven't set any password to my database, so I'll just leave it as blank. Okay, I'll save it. Okay, I'll close it. Okay, so now I will create a model for this. Okay, so for creating a model, so model is used for interact with our database. Okay, so it will get all the result set, and it will return those result set to the controller, which is in our case site controller. Okay, so our models always present in models we create inside models folder. Okay, so we have to create one model here inside our models folder with a name called as posts. Okay, so let's right click and then click on new file and then save it as posts. Okay, dot php. Okay, so one thing you need to keep in your mind is that we have created a table with a name called as posts. Okay, so your posts table is in lowercase, right? Posts. Okay, so you need to create the exactly same model with the same name inside your editor. Okay, see, posts, because I'm having a table with a name called as post, that's why I have to create a model file inside the model folder with a name called as posts.php. okay, and then don't forget to make the first letter of your model as capital. Okay, so now let's click models. Okay, and we need to go to our site controller. Okay, and we need to come here. Okay, action index. Okay, this is the place. Action index function is the default function that gets loaded. Okay, so whenever we run our application, see, whenever I type the URL as 127.0.0.1/yii_crud/web, the function automatically, default function that's going to call from site controller.php file is this function. Okay, so we need to call the model inside this function. Okay, so but before that we need to go to post model, and then we need to write the code for interacting with our table. Use okay, first namespace app and then models. Okay, and then use db library. Okay, we need to use db and then active records class. Okay, so this active records class will help us by providing different functionalities for interacting with our database. Okay, so now let's class posts and then extends active records. Okay, and then we need to create some private variables for title and then description. Okay, and then category. Okay, so these are the same fields which I have created inside my database. See, if you have a look at on our database table, see, these are the fields which I have created in my table. Okay, so the same fields we need to take here as a variables, and then we need to create a function, public function rules. Okay, now we need to set the rules. Okay, return and then create one more array, okay, and then title, and then description, and at the end category, and which is required. Okay, so these rules will be very helpful whenever we tries to submit the form without entering any data inside the form. Okay, the example I have shown you in the very first video of this tutorial series, where I have shown you a demo when I was trying to submit the form without entering the data in any of the form fields. At that time it was returning some mandatory information, like you have to enter title, and then you have to enter a description, and then you have to enter category. Okay, you cannot leave any of the text boxes blank. Okay, so this that functionality will be achieved with these rules. Okay, so now this much is enough for posts, and then now let's go to our site controller. Okay, and here we need to write the code for getting the records from the database. Okay, so let's write $posts equals to posts, and then find all. Okay, so here what I'm saying is go to posts model or the table with the help go to post table with the help of this post model. Okay, with the help of this post model, go to post table and then find all the records that are present inside the post table. Okay, so but before that we need to call our model here at the top. Use app and then models and then posts. Okay, so now let's try to see what output we will get. Print r. Okay, and then try to print this output. Okay, so now let's and then use an exit. Okay, now let's refresh our page. Okay, it's saying class Yii2 active records not found. Okay, here active records. Okay, let's go to posts. Okay, it's to record. Okay, not records. Now let's see. Okay, now you can see it's returning us all the records that is present inside our table post. Okay, so now let's just indent it properly. Okay, echo pre-tag copy. Okay, now you can see since we have two records in our table, that's why it's returning two records. One is WordPress and the second one is Magento. Okay, so these are the two records which we are having in our table. Okay, so now we have successfully able to fetch the records from our table using our model. Okay, so I hope you understood the use of this statement. Okay, this posts is the model. Okay, so which we have created just few minutes back. This is the model which we are referring here. Okay, posts model uses the active record class. Okay, so this active record class helps the users to provide useful functionalities in interacting with the database, okay, like getting the data, fetching the data, inserting the data into database tables, and then updating and then deleting. Okay, so all this functionality will be achieved by this activity card class. Okay, so now we are calling this post model, okay, post model, and then we are finding all the records. Okay, with the help of this post model we are referring to the post table inside our database. Okay, so once we find the records inside the table, and then we are fetching all the records from the table, and then we are storing those records inside this variable. Okay, and now let's delete this, and now we need to pass this data to our home, so that to our home view, so that we can view all those information here on our home page. So now let's pass it. Okay, so we need to use an array. With the help of array we need to send the data. So posts. Okay, so now this post is a variable, and to this variable array variable, and to this array variable we are passing this variable array, which holds this variable post, which holds the complete information of all our posts. Okay, and with the help of this post array variable we are displaying all the information in our home page. Okay, so now let's go to our home view or template. Okay, here let's try to print here. Okay, let's try to see whether we are accessing the records here inside our view as well or not. Okay, so PHP print $posts. So print. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, now we are successfully getting the records in our view as well. So what we should do is just remove this. Okay, and then we need to come to the body, table body, and then we need to type if condition. We need to use an if condition. We need to count first, count of $posts. Okay, so this is the variable which holds the entire information. Okay, so we are checking whether this variable holds any data or not. Okay, what if this variable post doesn't contains any data? Okay, what if our table doesn't contains any information? At that time this variable will have the 0 record. So that's why we are checking here if this variable post will have any data which is greater than 0. Okay, so it will return, it will check for the 0. If it has 0, then it will display no records found, or it will, if this variable has a value of greater than 0, that means 1, then it will return all the data. Okay, so now let's end this. Okay, so let's first if else. Okay, and then end if. Okay, so in end if I will display a tr tag, and then inside tr I will use a td, will display a message as no records found. Okay, no records found. Okay, so if our table doesn't contain any data. Okay, so but right now we will not see this message because our table already contains the data. So now we have set the condition, and now we need to set a for loop for each $posts as post. Okay, so we are making a variable. Okay, so this post variable, this is an array variable which contains entire information which is returning from the database. Okay, so we are referring to this array with the help of this post. Okay, so now we need to end this for each as well. And for each. Okay, Okay, now okay, here first one is ID, so to use PHP echo $post of ID. Okay, so here, okay, let's close it. Okay, so here as I already said, this post, I'm referring to this post array with the help of this post variable, and this post variable refers to the ID field, ID information of this particular first record. Okay, now let's copy this and put it here. Okay, and then title, next description, and then at the end category. Okay, save it. Okay, now let's refresh our page. Okay, and for each. Okay, for each. Okay, so here it should be semicolon, not colon. Okay, now let's refresh again. Okay, now you can see we are successfully fetching the data from our table post. Okay, so this is how we can fetch the data records from the table. Okay, so I hope you understood each and every piece of code in this Yii framework. Okay, so here so let's start from our site controller. Okay, so let's first start from our post model. Okay, so I have created a post.php model to interact with our database. Okay, so here I have used an active record, this active record. Okay, so you don't have to write this statement for fetching the records from the database. Okay, so you just have to you just need only this much of information. Okay, so let's okay, so this active records class helps the users to perform some basic database operations. Okay, and with the help of this post, we are in post.php model, we are interacting with the table post which is present inside our database, this one. Okay, so here we are, and the next inside our controller, since this is an action index is the default function which gets automatically executed when we run our application. So here I'm calling the post model. This post model calls to the post table inside the database and find all the records from that table and assign it to this variable, and then we are passing this variable because it contains the entire information present inside the table, and there we are passing that information to our home view, home template with the help of an array. Okay, so now we have assigned this entire information to this post variable. Okay, so this post variable we have to access inside our home. Here we are checking this post variable contains any data or not. If our table doesn't contain any data, then this post variable will have the value of 0. Okay, now in this case our table contains the data and this post variable contains the data as well, so the value of this post variable should be greater than 0, which is 1. Okay, so now condition gets satisfied and we are iterating to each and every piece of information with the help of this for each loop, and we are displaying the information. Okay, so now as a result of that we are getting the records from the table. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you got some useful information out of this video, and let's click on this login. Okay, so so this is the structure of the URL. Okay, so this one thing I just wanted to tell you. So our project directory should be refer with the project name 127.0.0.1 / project name, and then web / index.php. Okay, so index.php, this template belongs to index.php, and previously we were on the home.php, and that home.php is the default view, that's why it's not displaying here. Okay, so so now see, this index.php is the file name, and then $r equals to site. This site is the controller. Inside the site controller we are having the functionality for displaying this login template. Okay, login template, so this login is the name of this view. Okay, and then we are having some other view which the name called as contact. Okay, and this contact view is also present inside the site controller. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to tell you extra. Okay, so now we have successfully fetched the data from the table and display it on the home page. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you got some useful information out of this video. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, click on like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video, where I'll be showing you or discussing with you how to create a post. Okay, so in my last in this video I had entered the post manually inside this table, but in my next video I will create a button here to create a post exactly this way. Okay, exactly this way form I'll be creating in my next video. So don't go anywhere, guys. I will see you guys in my next video, and thanks for watching. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, friends and subscribers. This is Mahmoud Sheikh, and from past few videos I'm working on a tutorial series of developing a CRUD application using Yii2 framework. Okay, in this video I will discuss how to publish a post, or how to insert a record into the database. Okay, so let's start our discussion of creating a post. Okay, so first we need to display a create post button here on the top of this table, so that whenever user click on that button, he should be redirected to some other page, or some other function inside the controller gets called. Okay, so for that we need to go to our editor. Okay, now I am on my editor, and you can see this home.php file is open, and now we need to create a row with a class of row. Okay, and then I have to create a span, and then a link, HTML link. Okay, and then we need to put a label, and then let's create an array. Inside this array we need to pass the URL. Okay, this is the name of our controller, which is site, and inside our site controller we need to create a function with a name called as create. Okay, and then we need to give it a class as btn primary. Okay, now save it, and now let's refresh our page. Okay, now it's displaying a button to create a post. Okay, so let's give some space below this button. So let's come here to span style, and then margin bottom as 20 pixel. Okay, now so now we have to create a function with a name called as create inside our site controller, so that whenever user click on this create button, he should be redirected to that create function. Okay, so come here, and just below this create a function, public function action create. Okay, so you need to give the same name which you have given in this URL. Okay, so create. Okay, and the function name should be prefixed with the keyword action. Okay, now I will display a message as create post. Okay, so now let's click on this create button, so you can see I'm accessing that function in which I have written create post. Okay, so you can see the moment when I click on that create button, the URL gets changed, and now it's giving me a path as localhost / our project name / web / index.php and question mark and then r equals to site. So this is the controller which we are using right now. Okay, so inside this site controller we have a create function. Okay, so we are inside the create function. That's what it's denoting here in the URL. So now and now we need to create one file with a name called as create. Okay, so let's right click on this, click on new file, and then save it as create.php. okay, now let's make a header h1 create post. Okay, and now we need to call this create.php inside this create function. I'll just copy this and paste it here. I will change it to create. Okay, let's remove this, save it, and now refresh. Okay, now we are successfully loading the create.php template. Okay, so now let's come here. Okay, and then we need to pass a model to this. Okay, we need to create our model, object of our model, new posts. Okay, and then we need to pass this model to our create template to display the form. Okay, posts. Okay, and then $post. Okay, now we need to go to create.php. Okay, and then just copy this entire code and paste it here. Okay, so now let's remove this row. Okay, let's remove this table. Okay, save it, and then just remove this as well. I'll just bring it to top, cut it, and paste it here. Create post. Okay, so just indent. We don't want this jumbotron, and we don't want this as well. Okay, now we need to create a form. Okay, so for creating a form we need to add the above this row to start a PHP tag. Okay, and then form equals to, we need to create a form first, active form. We need to begin, we need to start a form, begin. Okay, and then need to create a row for displaying the first input field. Okay, so before that we are using an active form class, so we need to use it at the top of the form. Use Yii, and then widgets, active form. Okay, so we need to use active form widget here at the top of the our create.php. Okay, and then div of class form control. Okay, and one more div, then class of column 6, and then create a form field of type input. Okay, $post comma title. Okay, so this post where we have passed from the controller, you can see to this create template we have passed this post model. Okay, so we have to access this post model to create the form fields. Okay, so now let's see, refresh. Okay, title. Okay, now let's see form. Okay, form equals to active form, we begin. Okay, and then at the end we need to close the form. Okay, below this PHP active form, we need to end it as well. Save it. Okay, PHP an active form, and then we have to end it. Okay, and then okay, form active form begin, and then form field. Save it. Okay, okay, form group, save it. Okay, now title is displaying fine. Okay, now we need to create we need to just copy this complete row. Okay, and then we need to change it to first one is title and second one is description, and then this description will be of the type text area. Okay, which will have the rows 6. Okay, and then copy this entire thing again and then paste it for displaying category. Okay, for category we need to first create the items. Okay, dollar items equals to okay, the first one is e-commerce. Can just copy this and put it here, comma, and then just copy, paste, CMS, MVC. Okay, MVC. Next, then we need to change it to drop down list. Okay, so we need to display these items inside the drop down, that's why we are choosing a drop down list. Okay, and then we need to pass the items inside this. Okay, and then first we need to tell the user a message to select any of the item. Okay, now let's see. Okay, fine. Okay, we are displaying these items. Okay, your form field post. Okay, category and drop down list items. Okay, prompt. Okay, there was some spelling mistakes. Okay, now it's displaying fine. Okay, now let's display a submit button. Okay, so for displaying this submit button, okay, here we need to create two sections, call lg3, okay, and then of column, another column of size 2 of width 2, okay, and then HTML submit button, create post, okay, and then class as btn primary, okay, and then we need to create a link so that whenever user click on that link, he should be redirected to the home page. Okay, so let's create that. A href and then okay echo ye, okay, home URL. Okay, so this will return the home URL of our project, so that whenever user click on that link, he should be redirected to the home URL. Okay, and then class equals to btn primary, and then okay, now let's see. Okay, unexpected, okay, here okay, this is an array, so let's refresh. Okay, we need to give it a label as go back. Okay, save it. Okay, so when I click on this, I should be redirected to my home page. Okay, so when I click on this create, I'll be redirected to the create post form. Okay, now let's come to our form is done. So we need to now we need to write the functionality for saving the data into the database. Okay, so let's come here, okay, and then form data, okay, app request post, okay, if post, okay, load. If the form data gets loaded successfully, okay, then we will run another if $post of save. We will be saving the data. Okay, otherwise, okay, here we will give the user a success message using session if the data gets saved successfully. Okay, $app get session, then set flash. Okay, and then we need to put a key and value for that key, message, okay, and then post published successfully. Okay, so now then I'll be redirecting the user to the home page. This redirect to our home page. Okay, else we'll be displaying an error message. Post failed to post. Okay, failed to post. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now let's check. Okay, so let's try to save any of the post. Okay, so first title and then description and then category. Okay, so let's click on this create post. Okay, home. Okay, so let's just change it to index. Okay, let's click on this create. Okay, so let's try to submit the form without entering any information in any of this text box. So if I do that, it will throw me an error. Okay, so now I will type and then I will paste it here. Okay, so let's click on here. Okay, okay, so previously as well the data was saved successfully, but the problem was with this index. I had to enter this index.php file. We need to tell the user to go to the index page, so that's why it was showing an error. Okay, so now the data gets saved successfully. Okay, and but we didn't get the success message because we have not displayed that message on our home page. Okay, so for that we need to go to our home page and then okay, just above this, okay, at the top. Okay, so okay, so let us display the message here itself. Okay, if Yii app session has flash. Okay, then we need to put the key, the same key we need to enter here, which we have given here inside our controller, which is this one. Okay, message. Okay, and if save it. Okay, so now let's select copy and now refresh. Click on this create AngularJS. Okay, okay, we got okay, but I haven't printed, so let's do that. Echo Yii app and session, then get flash. Okay, and then key, which is message. Okay, let's copy another record. Okay, let's click on it. Laravel. Okay, now let's click create. Okay, so now it's displaying me a message as post published successfully, but it's not styled properly. Okay, so we can apply styling if you want to this. Okay, so now you can see we have successfully created a post and we have saved that post inside the database. Okay, so now let's go to our site controller. Okay, now this is the post or the model which we have created in our last video, and we are using this model to interact with our database to save the data. Okay, so here we are requesting the data which user is going to enter inside this form. Okay, so whatever information user is going to enter inside this form, that information will get collected and stored inside here. And here we are checking if the post data is loaded successfully, and then we will be saving that data. If the data gets saved, then we will be displaying a proper message to the user. Okay, and then we will be redirecting the user to the index template. Okay, otherwise if the data didn't get loaded successfully, then that means the record didn't get saved inside the database, and based on that we will be displaying them a message as failed to post. Okay, and this one is to render the create post. Okay, so this is everything about creating a post. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you get some useful information out of this video. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, click on like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video, where I will show you how to display a single blog post. Okay, so whenever user click on this view link, a different page gets opened where the user will be going to see this particular post in full detail. Okay, so I will discuss everything about it in my next video, and thanks for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Mahmoud Sheikh, and from past few videos I am working on a tutorial series of developing a CRUD application using Yii framework. In my last video I completed the functionality of creating a post. Okay, so I had added these many posts after going to this form. Okay, and now in this video I will be completing the functionality of viewing or displaying a single post in a full detail. Okay, so whenever user click on this view link, another page should get open where I can see this post in full detail. Okay, so first we need to assign some ID to this link view. Okay, you can see each and every post is having 3 links. View is to view that post, update is to update the post, and delete is to delete the post. Okay, so these links should get linked with the ID of their particular post. Okay, so this is the ID, and this ID should get linked with each of these links, so that whenever user click on this link, the particular record should get fetched from the database table based on their ID. Okay, so now when I place the cursor on the view link on the left bottom side, let me just show you. Okay, so now I have kept the mouse cursor on top of that link view, so you are not seeing any link on the left bottom side here. Okay, you are not able to see anything here. Okay, but when we set a link here, then you will be able to see that. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, now you can see here, this is the application which we had created previously. Okay, so this is the demo application, and now when I kept the mouse cursor on top of this view button on the left bottom side of this browser here on this place, you will see the ID. See, localhost/y crud web/index.php, and then r equals to site is the controller which we are working on, and then %2, and then view, and id equals to 1. Okay, so that id equals to 1 is the id of that particular record. So the id of the first record is 1. Okay, so now if I keep the cursor on third record, you will see the id gets changed from 1 to 30. That means the 30 is the id of that particular record stored inside the table. Okay, so now we need to do this thing for our application. Okay, so for doing that, we need to go to our project, and then we need to go to home. Okay, inside home we are having these links, right? So we need to put an array and give it a name. Okay, and then id equals to id. Okay, we need to give this id. I'll just copy this and I will paste it here. Okay, and change it as, well, set it as id. Okay, and now we need to give a class as well, bootstrap class as label primary. Okay, so now let's refresh our application. Okay, now you can see the design of our view button gets changed. Okay, because of this class. Okay, now we have set an id. Okay, so the id is that particular id which is coming from the database. Okay, and this view is displayed whenever you place the cursor on top of this view button. Okay, so on the left bottom side of this browser window, you will notice the link that gets attached to this particular view button is displaying. Okay, so localhost, that is 127.0.0.1/Yii2, and then web/index.php, and then r equals to site, which is the name of the controller, and then view, and then id equals to 1. Okay, so that view is coming from here. Okay, so this is the view, and the id is coming from here. Okay, so now we need to do the same thing for update and delete. I'll just copy, just paste it here. Okay, and then update, delete. Okay, and then this one is success, and this one is danger. Okay, so let's change it to default. Okay, so now we need to build the functionality so that whenever user click on this view button, it should be redirected to some function inside the controller, and there we will be writing the code for getting the record from the database and displaying it to the view template. Okay, so let's first create a view template. So inside this site, you click on new file and then save it as view.php. okay, and then let's make a header, view post. Okay, save it. Okay, now we need to call this view.php whenever user click on this view link. Okay, so for that, first we need to create a function. Okay, the exactly same looking function we need to create here. Okay, public function action view. Okay, and then we need to pass the id. Okay, then let's render our view. Let's copy this and paste it here, just delete it. Okay, and then change it to view. Okay, save it, refresh. Now let's click on this link. Okay, now it's displaying view post. That means we are loading view post. And now let's try to print this id. Okay, now it's displaying the id of that post. Okay, now if I click on any other post view button, and you will see the ID of that particular post is displaying. Okay, so that means we are successfully able to fetch the ID of that post. Okay, and now based on this ID we will be fetching the record from the table and we will be displaying to the user. Okay, so for that we need to call our model. Okay, we need to call our model. This is our model. Okay, and then we will use the method find one. Okay, and into this we will pass this ID. Okay, and then okay, and now we will pass this post as an array to our view template. Okay, post, save it. Okay, so before that okay, so let's go to our view and try to display it. So save it. Okay, now let's go to create. Okay, let's just copy entire code and then put it here. Okay, and then remove all this. Okay, view post. Okay, and now let's go to bootstrap.com. okay, and then select whichever theme you want, then just click on this preview link, and I have selected this Cosmo and I have clicked on this preview, so I have got this template. And then from here I want some dialog boxes. Okay, something like this. Okay, yes, I will take this, I'll just copy and I will paste it here. Okay, now let's delete all this thing. Yeah, save it. Okay, now let's refresh. Okay, okay, so now let's display here. Okay, PHP. So let's echo the title $post title. Okay, and then do the same thing for description and category. Description and category. Okay, and then we need to put a backlink. Okay, so for displaying backlink we need to go to here, create. Inside here we must find this. Okay, so let's take this, copy and come here. Okay, div class row, save it. Okay, so this is the home the app home URL sends the user back to the home URL, that is index or home page. Okay, so now let's refresh. Okay, now you can see I'm successfully getting the details of the first record. Okay, so if I click go back, then I'll be redirected to the home page. And now if I want to see the details of some other record, then I will just click on this view button. I will get the details of that particular record. Okay, so now what's going on is let's go to our site controller. Here you can see I have called the model. Okay, and this posts is our model. Okay, in our previous classes, previous videos, we have created this post model, and this post model relates to the table inside our okay, here okay, inside our database CRUD. Okay, so this is our table post. Okay, and this post is the model which we have created in our last video. This post model relates to the table. Okay, relates to the table. Where is that? Okay, model, and then posts. Okay, and here this post model relates to the table inside our database CRUD, okay, which is post. Okay, so that's why it successfully able to get the records from that table. Okay, now what we have done is, let's delete this. Okay, so this with this post model, I am fetching only one specific record which matches the ID, which is this. Okay, so as we have already seen, this ID is the one which the user is going to click here on this application. Okay, and for example, in this case 5th is the ID, so we are telling we want that one specific record from the table who has the ID 5. Okay, so then MySQL database will return that details of that particular ID 5 and store it inside this variable post, and then we are passing this post to our view template. Okay, so that we can display the details of that single post inside our view.php file. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. We have just taken the information and stored inside this post. Okay, this post variable is exactly the same what we have created here. Okay, and we have passed this post variable to this view, and inside view we are accessing the property of that variable. Okay, so this is how we can fetch the details of any particular record from the table. Okay, so that's all for this video of displaying the details of a single post, and I hope you like this video. I hope you got some useful information out of this video. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, click on like button and share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video where I will discuss how to update a particular record. Okay, and that's all guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Mahmoud Sheikh, and from past few videos I am working on a tutorial series of developing a CRUD application using Yii framework. And in my last video I completed the functionality of viewing a single post. Okay, so whenever user click on any of the posts view link, then that post will be displayed in full detail. Okay, and now in this video I'll discuss how to update a particular post. Okay, so whenever user click on this update, if to this update link, we have already set the link ID of that particular post to each of this post in our last video itself. Okay, so in this video we will be discussing how to update. So whenever user click on update link, a different form will get opened where this information displayed in this form. Okay, pre-populated form will be displayed where there will be a button called as update post. So whenever I click on that update post, the post will get updated and we will get the message. Okay, so first we have to create a function inside the controller side. Okay, so whenever I place the mouse cursor on top of the update, on the left bottom side of the window, you will see there is I have to create a function with a name called as update inside the site controller. Okay, so let's go to our home page. Okay, so this is the link for update, and we are passing the ID, and we need to send the request to the site controller, and here we need to create a function with a name called as update action update, and to this we have to pass the ID. Okay, $ID. Okay, and here inside this we have to call. Okay, so we have to render our update view. Okay, so let's delete this. Okay, now so far I have not created any update view, so let's create it now. Right click on the site and then click on the new file and then give it a name, save it as update.php. Okay, and then h1 update post. Okay, so now when I click on the update link of any of the posts, then I should get the update.php view. See, it's displaying that view. Okay, and now what we need to do is we need to copy the same form which we have created for create. Okay, so let's just select everything and then copy and come to update and then paste it here. Okay, now here we need to change it to update instead of create. Okay, and here as well need to change update post. Okay, and now let's refresh. Okay, it's displaying error because it's not able to identify this post variable, so which we have passed to this view inside this view. Okay, so all this is not able to identify. So for that, what we need to do is we just need to copy our model and we need to pass our model to our view. Okay, let's copy. Okay, and then here. Okay, so now save it. Okay, now if I refresh, then you will see a form with pre-populated data is displaying for update. Okay, so now if I go back and click on any of the other posts like first record update, then you will see the details of that particular post will start displaying in the text box, text area, and then in the drop down. Okay, so now the only thing which is left is we need to write the functionality, or we need to write the code so for updating the record whenever user click on this update post after making changes in any of these fields. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so for that we need to come here. Okay, then inside our update function. Okay, and then okay, so let's first comment all this and then try to print the ID. Okay, now let's, if I refresh, then you will see the ID of that particular post is displaying. Okay, so we have already linked these buttons with their respective IDs. So whenever user click on any of the update button, the record gets fetched out based on the ID which we have set to this particular to each and every post. Okay, we have set the ID of this particular post which is 1 to this post, and the same thing we have done for the rest of the posts. Okay, so and now the moment when user click on this update, the ID gets passed and the data of that particular post gets fetched from the database and then displayed to the user. Okay, so that's what we had done just few minutes back. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so based on this ID we are fetching the data from the table and we are pre-populating those data into this form. Okay, so how this form is displaying, because inside this action site controller, inside this action update function, we have rendered the update, and to this we have rendered the update view, and to this update view we have passed the model which is coming from the database, or the information of that particular post which is coming from the database. Okay, and we are passing that information to this update. Okay, and here in this update we are displaying that information. Okay, now need to use an if condition. If post load. Okay, app request, then post, and post saved. Okay, so now here for updating we have written the entire statements inside a single statement. Okay, so for saving when we were saving the record, we had divided this entire statement into different levels or different steps. Okay, but here we have taken those different steps into one statement. Okay, so here we are loading the request. Here we are loading the data that is coming from the form. Okay, here we are checking if the data which is user is going to enter or update inside this form gets loaded successfully and the data gets saved successfully, then we will display them. We will save the data and we will display the success message to the user. Get session and then set flash. Okay, and then we will pass the key and value, which is the same thing. We'll just copy and paste it here, message, and then post updated successfully. Okay, and then in return I will render the view. I will redirect to index view. Okay, and then dollar post of ID. Okay, here ID, and in else I will return the, if the data didn't get updated, then I will return again the same update form. Okay, so now, okay, so one thing, okay, so whenever we get this message, we get the message on the home page. Okay, that is index, that is home page here at the top, and for displaying that message we have already written a statement here at the top. Okay, but we need to put this inside a div, cut it, okay, with the class. Okay, so let's go to our bootstrap and let's find for warnings. Okay, I'll just copy this and come here. Okay, close, this one is fine. Okay, let's cut it out and then put it here. Now save it. Okay, now let's see, let's check. Okay, go back, and now let's click on this first post. Okay, WordPress, okay, FR, okay, which means framework. Okay, framework. Okay, and let's change to something else. Let's see, MVC category. Okay, now I'm going to update the post, and okay, so it has returned me an error. Okay, calling a known method, set session. Okay, post save. Okay, Yii app, and then okay, it has to be get session. Okay, get session, and then set flash. Okay, the record gets updated, but we get the error because of this statement. Okay, so now let's try to update some other record. Okay, and then framework, and then let's again change it to CMS, and now let's click on update. Okay, so now you can see our post is updated successfully, and at the same time we get the message from the server that post updated successfully. Okay, so now we have successfully updated. Okay, so now we can close it if you want. Okay, now we successfully updated the record, and the only thing which is left to complete or to come to the end of this tutorial series is delete. Okay, so in our next video we will discuss how to delete a particular record. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope you get some idea or some useful information out of this video. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel, click on like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in my next video where I'll be discussing on how to delete a record. Okay, so don't go anywhere guys, watch this complete tutorial series, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends and subscribers. This is Mahmoud, and from past few videos I am working on a tutorial series of developing a CRUD application using Yii framework. In my last video I completed the functionality of updating a record, and in this video, which is the last video of this tutorial series, I'll be discussing how to delete a record from the table. Okay, so here you can see there is a delete button displaying for each post inside this table, and we have already linked the ID for each of these buttons. Okay, so if I place the mouse cursor on top of the buttons, you will see on the left bottom of the browser window you will see the IDs displaying. Okay, so that means we have linked the ID. That 7 ID equals to 7 is the ID of that record. Okay, so now let's go to home. Here you can see we have set the ID, post ID, to each of these buttons. Okay, so whenever I click on this delete link, a function gets executed inside the site controller. Okay, now we need to create that function. Okay, so let's go to site controller, and here let's create that function, public function action delete. Okay, and for this function we have to pass the ID of the post which I am going to delete. Okay, so let's try to print this ID. Okay, so now let's go to our application and refresh, and now when I click on this delete button, I will be redirected to delete function where I'm displaying the ID of that post. Okay, so this is the ID of the post. Okay, now we need to write the code for deleting that particular post. So now let's first call our model posts. Okay, and then find one and then delete. Okay, and then to this let's pass the ID. Okay, so here we are calling the post model, and that post model is linked with our table. Okay, the post model relates to our posts table inside our database. Okay, so now let's check if this if the above statement gets executed. If $post, then we will display them a message, appropriate message that post is deleted successfully. Okay, so now let's write app get session. Okay, so exactly this thing. Okay, we need to print, just copy and paste it here. Okay, here we need to change to delete, post deleted successfully. Okay, and now to this we need to pass only index. Okay, now let's save the page, and now let's go to our application. Okay, so now we have already displayed the error, display the successfully message here on the home page. Okay, so we no need to type it once again. Okay, so here you can see I have already written the code for displaying the successful or failure message. Okay, so now let's come to our page and refresh, and now I'm going to delete any one of the records. So let us say 4th record. Okay, now I'm having 7 records here inside my table, and now I'm going to delete any one of the record. Okay, so let's say 4th record. Okay, now you can see I have got the messages post deleted successfully, and at the same time that post gets deleted from my table, and that post also should get deleted from this table as well. Okay, from my database table. Okay, so now if I again want to delete any of the record, then you can see the record number 6 also gets deleted, and that entry also gets deleted from the table as well. Okay, so this is how we can build the functionality of deleting a post. Okay, so this is everything about performing some basic operations using Yii framework, like creating a blog post, reading a post, updating a post, deleting a post, and reading all the records from the table. Okay, so now we have, in this complete tutorial series, we have learned different concepts of CRUD application, and we learn how we can use Yii framework to develop this simple kind of application. Okay, so I would just request you guys to watch this complete tutorial series, then only you will be able to know, then you will come to know the basic concepts of Yii framework. Okay, so that's all for this tutorial, guys. That's all for this particular video, and in this video tutorial series I have discussed some of the basic concepts of Yii framework. Okay, I hope you like this video series. I hope you like this complete tutorial series and each and every video of this tutorial series. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, click on like button, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in some more video where I'll be discussing on some other topic. Okay, I will see you guys in my next video, that is where I will be discussing on some other topic. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.